Ah, it's good to see you. Alright, you only have one job tonight. You remember? Let me do the talking. That's all you have to do. Okay? You got me? Cool. This is a .5 episode, and that's what these are about. It's essentially me doing mundane things and talking, and you, the viewer, listening. So, I think it's time to clean up our inventory a little bit, and we need to get back to it. That's right. Mining. It's all well and fun to go around, and I guess these count as bunkers. It's all well and fun to go around and spend your time, you know, fighting and doing all kinds of dangerous tasks, but when it comes back down to it, occasionally you're gonna have to do some dirty work yourself. Which is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going into the mines for a little bit more food than this. And we're going to be staying down there for a while. Well, maybe not too long a while, but a while at any rate. Although, I'm still on the fence about whether mining counts as mundane or not. But I guess considering most videos that you would watch, mining doesn't, it doesn't enter the video, so I guess it counts as mundane. So, that's what we're going to do, we're going to mine. Really, at the moment though, we're on the hunt for two things. One, diamonds, and two, an end gate, an end portal. You know, most of my luck in finding them is just that. It's luck. It's never on purpose. You know, it's just the kind of thing that, you know, oh, I'm mining and, oh, look, an end portal frame. Let's fill it up and go through it and have all kinds of adventures. It's, for the most part, how I find them. But, or let's fill it up and go through it, and then somebody else will kill the dragon because I'm busy preparing or something like that. But that's okay. That's okay. And our secondary objective is diamonds. We want diamonds. Which means I should probably go and establish a good mine somewhere, but no, not today. So the plan for us is, I believe, if you've listened to the podcast at all, they mentioned that we're going to be doing Humble Bundle games. I mean, Humble Bundle games. Humble Bundle? Humble Bumble. Bumble Humble. Humble Bumble. We're going to be playing games that come off of that website that happen to be very cheap. That's what we're going to be doing, and I have one that I think I would personally very much enjoy playing, but I already know a lot about it, so it might not be entertaining. So I think I'm gonna scratch that idea. Maybe I'll do it anyway, just because I enjoy it so much. But I think we're gonna try something new. We're gonna download something that we've never played before and take the risk of it sucking. You know, and that's one of the hardest things to do as a gamer is, you know, you pay for this game, you know, and if you were like me as a kid, I didn't have a lot of money, so the games that I bought had to be good or worth playing, or I had to make them worth playing because, you know, those were the games that I had. You know, so like, Star Wars Battlefront, the first one I played many hours. Battlefront 2, many hours. Even the Lord of the Rings, the game that came out when the Fellowship of the Ring came out, I played that a lot just because I had it and I had to. You know, you can't just let games sit around. And even though it wasn't the best game in the world, it probably wasn't the worst one that I considered having in my library. Ooh, stuff. The Tetris game that came with my Xbox was probably the one that I considered the worst in my library. Just to clarify, it was okay. It was kind of shit though. Oh boy. Back, I say. Ah! Ran out of arrows. Just hit him in the face, it'll be fine. Oh! Goodness gracious! Oh my god. Okay, alright, okay, alright. Are there any more? Look, if you're hiding somewhere, just come out now. Nah, come out now. I sound any more nasally? I probably could if I tried, but I'll spare you. Alright. But no, so like, games like the first Mass Effect, great game, amazing game, but you know, I guess there's a couple of things that just happened around that point in my life where it was just amazing. You know, all the games that I had were just amazing, and they'll never be quite that amazing again because they were, you know, they were the first games that I had. The Xbox was the first console that I had that I was like, oh my god, this thing is amazing. And of course, now I play on the PC almost religiously because, you know, the games that I want are here. But the problem is, well, we'll get to that. Where were we? Games, and why you had to value them. And why they were so amazing at the time. They were amazing at the time because I was, you know, as a teen. All the, you know, the adults. I was about to say grown-ups because that's still the point in life that I feel that I'm in. Is, you know, the point in life where you still say, oh yeah, the grown-ups are over there. Anyway, we're just gonna bypass that big discussion for now. Oh my goodness, I keep losing my train of thought. Hang on. Torches. We need torches. Perhaps they will shed some light on the subject. You know, so you get all these new chemicals in your system that are making things seem more amazing, more interesting than perhaps they would be to other people. You know, you're coming to new conclusions that you'd never come to before. You're having experiences that you'd never had before, that sort of thing. It's great, it's amazing, it's awesome. And, you know, you have this wonderful Xbox that you've never had before. You have games that you've never had before, as you've never had them before. You know, and it's great, but the problem is you only have a few. So you have to play those few again and again, but you're okay with it because they're amazing. And you know, you fall in love with those games because, you know, they're the only ones you have, and you've played them so many times, they're just very close to home, they're very amazing for you. But now, I have money. I can buy games. I can buy any game I want. You know, if there was a game out right now that I wanted to have, absolutely wanted to have, I could buy it. Nothing's stopping me. But there's a problem. You don't value the game the same. I don't know if it's just because I'm a little bit older now, and I'm slowly falling into the state of games just aren't what they used to be, even though perhaps they are. Or if it's that, I don't know. Or, you know, maybe they aren't what they used to be, and they are kind of, you know, getting more lax. And I feel to an extent that may be true. To an extent, and may. I'm including both of those because there, you know, I definitely feel there's some leeway on either side of that point where you say, okay, it's definitely true. All right, let's consider that it's definitely true that games are becoming more lax, and they are worse. Then why are people still buying them? You know, why are people my age still buying them? Because they're, you know, maybe they're just loyal fans. Maybe they're, you know, they're just kids and they don't really know what's going on. Okay, they're not, kids wouldn't be my age, but really, I'm just a couple of years away from being a kid. I mean, I'm only 21 now. But, well, let's consider the other way. So, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's that I have the ability to play the game. Maybe it's that I have friends. You know, the real thing was single-player games with a storyline that's driven by you in doing what you want to do. But now there's so many multiplayer games out, and you have your friends, and, you know, you spend all your time inside, you'll never see your friends. So you have to see your friends occasionally, so when they're on, you might as well play multiplayer games instead of a single player game, but then you realize your friends are always on. And you're always on. Or at least I know I am, which leaves me in a position of I never play my single player games. Like Minecraft, I've never beaten it alone. I've never, quote, beaten, end quote, Minecraft. You know, it's not a game that you really win. It's you know, it is what you make of it. If you believe you have won, then you've won, but you know, most people accept the dragon as winning, and to an extent I do too, because I mean, you know, once you've killed the dragon, what else is there to do? There's no storyline except that, you know, there's a big dragon boss out there. You know, you can go and kill the wither if you like. That's another option. Anyway, but you see what I'm saying? It's this, you just grow up and it becomes less of what it was and more of what it is, I suppose you might go so far to say. You know, the world reveals itself and you feel jaded. You look at games and you think, oh, it's just another one of those games, and I played one of those games once before and I didn't like it, or oh, it doesn't look as entertaining, or oh, it looks like a game that was made by these people, and because it was made by these people, it's just blah blah blah, so they can make their money and it's not going to be that good. Or oh, I wouldn't enjoy it for the, you know, there's just the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And it just doesn't stop. So occasionally I'll be, you know, I'll sit down and I'll actually watch somebody play a game that I think won't be entertaining. You know, I'll watch them play it for, you know, an episode, 2 episodes, a series, and then at the end of that series I'm like, oh my god, why aren't I already playing this game? This game's been out for a year. It's strange. It really is. It is just because I'm not hearing the news about it. You know, maybe I heard about it when it came out. I got a commercial on YouTube. Steam promoted it. You know, put it on, you know, their front page, spotlight, whatever. But I never bought it. Because I never heard, you know, maybe it's because I never heard anybody that I knew talk about it. Or if I heard somebody I knew talk about it, maybe I was like, oh, it's just one of those games that that person likes. You know, it's just... It's a little depressing, you know? Things kind of stagnate. Maybe it's just because I play games too much. What is that, there's 2 phrases I'm trying to think of right now. One is just one word, one is a phrase. It's, escapism, I guess, is what they call gaming. You know, they talk about people who spend too much time doing it, spend too much time alone because of it. You know, trying to get away from the real world without having to worry about, you know, some sort of other drug. They just worry about gaming. You know, are you escapist because you game, or are you, you know, do you game because you're an escapist? It's one of those kinds of questions. Am I jaded because I play games all the time, or... I guess this one's a little bit different. Is it the games that I play that make me jaded about others? And once again, wrapping back around, it is. It really is to an extent. Because, you know, once upon a time I didn't have the money. You know, I got games as gifts. And if I did have the money, it was very uncommon. So I had to consider my choice very carefully about what game I would get. You know, back then everything looked awesome, because I'd never played it before. I hear a zombie dying off to this direction. But, I mean, you know, now, I can just buy whatever game I want to buy. There's no, oh, if this is bad, I'll have wasted money on it. No, it's just like, whatever. So maybe you can kind of see my conundrum where, you know, this all spawned out of a conversation of why no one plays as many single player games as they used to. You know, I've got 100 and some games in my Steam library, and I've beaten maybe 10. You know, either I've beaten them before on the console, or I've started playing them and decided I didn't like them, or I didn't have time for them, or it just wasn't as grabbing and appealing as I thought of a game as I thought it was when I first looked at purchasing it. You know, again, it is just one thing after another. I can't remember any of the other side kind of topics that had spawned off of this right now, but if I did, I would switch to discussing them, because this one is kind of getting stale. Just like my experience with games. And you think, oh well, why don't you go do something else? You know, you don't have to play games. You could make games, or you could learn to play a guitar. You know, that's something that people always aim to do. Make music. And yeah, that's true, I could do one of those things. But they don't have the instant gratification like playing a game does. It's a little bit of a depressing subject for me. Let's switch off to something else. Whoop! Baby zombies, I tell you. Makes me wonder if they'll ever let you play as Baby Steve and have half the hit points but move twice as fast. That was a bad place for you to spawn, Buster Brown. But I think that would be fun, playing as a small Steve. Oh, Jesus Christ! I heard him coming, but I didn't think he was quite that close. I guess he had to fall to get to me, though. There's not a lot down here besides the common stuff. Well, I guess it's vanilla Minecraft, so I don't know what else I'm expecting. Yeah, I see you. I can hear you. I can see you. I can smell you. Oh, that dog from up. He was a great dog. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Neither is that. Again, talking dogs. If we could have talking dogs, would they say anything worthwhile? Even if they didn't, would we still enjoy it? You know, would they be able to say enough to make it worth our while? Just, you know, for them to say, I need to pee right now, or you haven't fed me in 3 days, or... this makes me sound like a very neglected dog owner. She's got food and water, right? Yeah, she's got food and water. And she's in my bed, sleeping very happily. So, don't judge me. Right, but I think, you know, some breeds of dogs are very intelligent and can kind of determine what you're talking about and know people by name, and, you know, my dog knows people by smell and sound. You know, my dad happens to knock on the door in a very certain way. She knows it's him rather than, you know, somebody else. Though, for most people, she barks anyway, but as soon as she hears his voice, she continues barking. You know, as soon as I come in, I don't say anything usually, and I don't make a whole lot of noise, so she thinks, okay, that's gotta be him. But for my dad, you know, he says things, he makes noise, he, you know, it's easy to tell. I'm sure he has a smell that's different from mine. You know, granted, we live in different parts of the house, but even so, I think my part of the house is a little bit more distinct than the rest. My stepmother has a very amazing sense of smell, as I've determined that she can just smell way better than I would expect any person to smell. there was a tornado a couple of weeks ago that I had to skip recording for, so we could go and hide in a car garage thing. And you know, that wasn't so bad. It was okay. It was, but you know, I brought Lou with me because they wouldn't leave me and I wouldn't leave Lou. So I brought Lou with me, and she could, you know, Lou is not the greatest smelling dog, but she could absolutely tell that Lou smelled terrible. You know, and she, okay, fair enough, she probably did, but I just couldn't tell it because I lived with her, but nobody else in the car noticed or mentioned, or, you know, but she could definitely tell. She could really tell. You know, is it just that women's noses are more sensitive than men's? Is it that... I think it's probably that. Which makes me also wonder if their sense of taste is more sensitive than ours, which, given the things that I'll eat compared to, like, things that, you know, a normal teenage girl would eat, okay, fair enough. That's probably true, too. Because you think about it, you know, I'm going to describe to you two things that I've made that I use. Well, I find one of them good occasionally, and one of them I used to find good, but I ate too much, and now I just don't like it anymore. You know, the first one is well-made microwaved eggs, scrambled eggs. Well-made, they can be, you know, they can be quite edible. I'm not going to say delicious, but they can be quite edible. You know, I think that about sums up how, you know, necessarily good they are. They're better than nothing, but if you're hungry at that moment, you don't want to have to break out the pan and wash the pan. You know, you just put them in the bowl. I wonder where I'm gonna get spat out. Huh. The other one. You know, and those are just okay. But the other, you know, and I imagine most girls probably wouldn't want to eat that. They're given, you know, granted, there's going to be the occasional one that would be like, oh yeah, I eat those all the time. I make those for myself. They're great. But there's another thing that I found a little bit, for a long time, actually very, very delicious. But it may just because I was missing like one of those like nutrients or something from my diet. And it's this weird, just, it's kind of a hash, really. Where am I? Voila! Jerkicus Maximus? Jerkicus Maximus? So you get hash browns, you get hot dogs, you get ham, you get cheese, and you know, occasionally like bacon or something. But so you got your hash browns, right? You got your hash browns. You should never put your sword away. I'm not really sure where I am. This could be dangerous. Alright, well, I imagine we're probably in the same area that we live. Probably in the same kind of like mountainous region that I look at, and I'm just used to seeing from a different angle or something. Must hurry. I don't know who you think you are, Mr. Zombie, but you're not getting me. If zombies could climb walls, that'd be scary. Right. So, no. Okay, so hang on. None of this looks familiar. That one kind of looks familiar. I think this is the other side of the castles over in that direction. But so you get your hash browns. You can, you know, if you make any of this on the stove in a pan, of course it's going to be much more amazing. But if you only have time to make it in the microwave, or you only want to make it in the microwave, or you only have the ability to make it in a microwave, be it, you know, skill or lack of a stove, you can do it. That's how I did it most of the time. But you just take hash browns, you know, you salt them, you get them all ready for you to eat. That's not right. Is it? What's that over there? That kind of looks like a structure I would build. Where's my nerd pole tower? I just made it. Uh-oh. No, see, that's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. And if that's not it, this is going to be quite an adventure getting... Oh my god, look at that! I think I remember this, though. I think I remember seeing that and going, oh yeah, look at this cool thing. I'll have to remember this is here so I can... Ooh, those are trees. Okay, well, hang on. You know, A, it's nice to get out and, you know, get around. Second, for me, when I was in my base, the sun rose. Obviously in this direction, but, this means my base is this way or this way from me? I think. Huh. Okay, so, we're going to put up some damage control. This is an arrow. It's a very bad arrow, but it's an arrow. What this means is, I came from that direction. Hopefully, if I end up walking all the way around to these mountains, I can find my way back to where I popped out. So, again, I am typically very good at navigating. Today, you know, it's a Saturday. In real life, I went into work anyway and helped clean up some construction. We ended up building a nice big door frame that we're going to put some big door in. Maybe not, I don't know. It looks a little bit big for a door. But, you know, went in, helped him with that. And, ended up doing a longer shift than I would have normally done, doing, like, manual labor instead of sitting down clacking on a keyboard. Huh, would you look at that? There's a little well. This is also turning into something that would not normally be in a 0.5 episode, so I must apologize. We may cut it once we determine that we are well and truly lost. Because that's an adventure. That qualifies as not mundane anymore. Problem is, I'm not familiar with any of these landmarks. But how far did I really go? How many blocks did I really go? It's nice to have a nice little well out in the desert. Huh. What? Ein Minuten bitte. That's cobblestone. There's something going on here. A zombie spawner. How nice. I'm not in the, you know, the mood to just kind of keep zombies around, so that means there's probably some chests. And some nice cobblestone, which I would mine were I not already kind of like over-encumbered. Not over-encumbered. Already full up on inventory space, and if I had any desire to mine cobble. Alright, we're just gonna do this the laziest way. Are there no chests? Okay, so this is the wall, and there's no chest. Wait, there might be a chest here? There might be a chest behind that one. Okay, so there's no chests. Except maybe here. Oh, there we go. The one you don't check. I bet one's here or here. Again, mundane stuff, but we'll take the gunpowder. Mundane. Apparently that's my new favorite word. Well, shoot. Alright, I think it's, like, given that I've never seen this place before, I have no idea where I am. I'm going to go ahead and declare me lost. So, I'm gonna cut here, and we're gonna come back and try to, discern what I've done to get here. I think I came from that, you know, I'm kind of skirting around the mountain, because I figured this is my mountain range. Because I can't have gone that far, but I remember going in one straight direction, then making a turn, I don't remember which direction, and then going in another straight direction. So anyway, like I said, it was a long day, had a drink, now I have no idea where I am or what I'm doing. So hopefully this is additional entertainment for you to watch me fumble around trying to figure out what I've done. I'll be right back.